Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Things We Do Not Want to Talk About. I just want to start off with saying, thank you to everyone that tuned in. I had such good feedback from last week. I'm trying to get Molly Moss to have his own podcast. Y'all really loved it. I feel like I may even need a part 2 to do it. So it was hella good. So if you did not get a chance to listen to it yet, definitely listen. It was my favorite one of this season so far. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for Molly Mar for coming. Thank you for JG for just really channeling on that great thing. And by the time this one comes out, my visual also should be out. So sorry, y'all, for the delay. We was having a hard time uploading it, but it's going to be out. So thank you. So today, because now I'm 2 for 2, I have a special guest today. And it is the one and only Jen Green from Fresh Baked Prince. So excited to have him here. Yes.
That's sweet.
Yeah. This is the best podcast. So I wanted to, I'm going to give him time to introduce himself, talk a little bit about who he is for those who don't know. I'm going to let him say it. And then we're kind of going to feedback a little bit off of the last episode. And we're also going to talk about finances. So this one is about talking money, right? Talking money with Mr. Every Day is a Get Money Day himself.
Every day I get money.
Every day I get money day. Yeah. So I'm going to let Gene introduce himself before we get started.
My name Gene. I own Fresh Baked Prince. I'm an entrepreneur from Detroit. And I be trying to do a whole bunch of stuff.
Yes. And y'all, I know he's trying to act like it's duh, but no, for real. If y'all know Gene, y'all know he's one of the people that when it comes to money, when it comes to advice, when it comes to business, he's someone that I would go to for advice. So Fresh Baked Prince is the best print store. It's in Oak Park. If y'all haven't been there before, and they literally do the best prints. I'm not saying it just because he's my friend, but quality, flyers, best prices,
quality, speed, price. That was
that was his thing. The competitor is no competition. So we wanted to do that. So before we start, for my last episode, I had a guest named Molly Ma. Okay. And we were talking about life and relationships. Mm-hmm. And it kind of came from this episode we were watching. So the episode was from, do you listen to podcasts?
Sometimes.
Okay. So this podcast was by a girl, I forgot her name. It was Lovers and Friends and featuring cocktails. And they were talking about life, relationships, and also money. Mm-hmm. So we already know the big controversial topic we hear is 50-50. Mm-hmm. And it's what should a man bring? What should a woman bring? And I always feel I'm always interested in what are guys' takes or what is it? So basically the context was as a woman, we're dating, it's you have to think about what do you want to bring. Mm-hmm. And the girl was in a relationship and she was saying my dude asked me what can I bring? What can I bring to the table? Mm-hmm. And I feel when we hear that question, we instantly go into what do he mean? What can I bring? Blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But it's no, realistically, what are you comfortable with bringing? Or what is something that you feel you are okay with? What are your non-negotiables? What are some of the things you're looking for? So to start us off, since we're going to be talking about money today, what are your takes on it? Or how do you feel about it?
I got different points of views on it based on different stages of my life. So the way I feel about it today is not how I felt about it 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a growth level. Mm-hmm. 'Cause I'll say back in the day, 5 years ago, I'd be 50-50 cool with me.
Right.
That sound good.
Mm-hmm.
Why not? But then as I got older and I grew, it's more as a man, it's certain things you're supposed to handle if you can, right?
Right.
If you're in position to do things, I think you should do them. So.
Okay. And when you were thinking about the 50-50, what made you at that time, describe what was going on during that time of your life? Or how did you, what made you think that?
I didn't understand what was expected of me as a man. So I couldn't really, I'm shit, why not do 50-50?
Right.
And then as you get older and you understand gender roles and what you want to do as a father, a man, all that type of shit, then you just be why not? You know what I'm saying? Do what you can do. So right. I don't think it's a thing based on is it right or wrong. It's really what works within the relationship. So say me and you was in a relationship or some shit, right? And you make all the money.
Right.
Say you make 100,000 and I make 60,000. And I'm gonna be I'm going to pay the bills, but we going to pay the bills based on my salary. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if you want to go bigger, and I'm like, I can't do that. I don't think like we should stay in this something that only I can afford when we got two incomes in this household and we partner. So we got to kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
I think it's more about figuring it out more than like actually coming up with a percentage rule.
And I think I like that because I feel like for a long time, so like to this day, like I've changed my mind about the 50-50. I'm not going 50-50, but I get it now. It does make sense.
Would you go 50-50 with somebody you really liked?
Yeah. Okay.
I think the rule is based on how much you like a person.
Yeah.
Because if you really, really like somebody and they're not where they want to be at that exact moment, like, oh, we can't be together because he want me to help. Like, no, like you work with that person.
And see, okay, and I get what you're saying. So this is what I say about it. I don't think I'm against the 50. I think I'm going to say this. I'm not against 50-50. It's all about the position that you are in. That's what I'll say. So for example, say if I was another teacher, right? Like say I bring in $78,000 a year or whatever, and I'm with another teacher, I can't realistically expect him per se, depending on what other bills they have. And I think that's something that we forget. Like people come in with that. Like for example, if I'm in a relationship, I come with baggage per se. And my baggage is my debt. Like, I'm getting it down, but that's something that's a lot for me. So it's like, I don't want to be paying the rent right now. You know what I'm saying? But it's like also, it all depends on the type of people who we date. So thinking about it, I feel like from a girl's perspective, stereotypically it's always, oh, find you someone with this and with that so to make it easier, right? But that's just not our real life these days. And it's also like, you got to think about what do you want from someone? Like, and what can you bring to? So like I saw this other thing is like, would you be okay if he paid all the rent that you had to cook every single day? And I'm like, no.
You wouldn't be okay with that?
No. And I don't even think it's because I don't want to please him. It's because I don't have the time to.
But in my head, if he paying for everything, you should kind of have the time. Right.
But except for if you got, so like, I'm just saying, for example, right? Say if I work from 7 to 5, right? And I may tutor after or something. So I mean, I get till 7. So I'm cool with cooking like 3 or 4 times a week. But I feel like realistically, who really wants to cook 7 days a week?
No, that's a fact.
Like, it's a lot. But it made me think about it because on the episode I was listening to for the podcast, it was like, like with the person who I'm in a relationship with, sometimes girls will say, oh, I'm not paying the rent, but I'll pay the utilities, the DTE, I pay the groceries. But it's like, and it comes up to the same thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like we get so conditioned of just saying, I don't want to pay rent. But it's like, what do you really want in someone?
I mean, shit, we was made to pay bills. Like, so like, I think we should stop worrying about like who pays them. We should just like work together to get them paid.
Yeah, to get them paid. And I feel like, to me, it's less about even just paying. I think that become really a social media thing. You know what I'm saying? Of like this 50-50 debate, because it's really irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be some give and take.
Well, when you even look at the people who even comment on that type of stuff, it'd be like, oh, hypothetically, right?
Yeah.
Say somebody comment like, "Oh, I ain't paying such and such," and then you go on their page and click it, and then you'll be like,
exactly.
Not like, oh, I'm trying not to say the wrong thing, but it just be like, your nigga pay all your bills, and you on this bitch depressed.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello. Like, let's be real.
You on here talking about he don't even come home some weeks.
Hello. No, seriously.
So like, I don't know. I mean, but some people cool with that. So everybody got their own little things that's like deal breakers.
And that's the big one you talked about. I feel like a lot of us don't be really realistic on what comes with the life that people think that they want, to be honest. You know, like, and I'm speaking just from a woman perspective. It's just like, it's some stuff I'm just not doing, right? But I know it's some women that they're so they sold like for real. Like, as long as they can say you with them, they got it, it's a good image for them, they will do that. And I feel like it makes me think about the power of money. And I feel like this last year of my life, and I talked about it before in my podcast, just like how I've looked at money in a different way. I realized guys with money, and really depending on the type of guy and the type of money that he gets, money can be used to control you.
Yeah, money is used to control people.
Yeah,
like,
every day.
Even in my company, like, I get money and I tell it what to do, and I tell it to tell other people what to do. Yeah. So it's a controlling thing. And
I feel like sometimes it's like that thin line between like what's doable and what's not, right? So like, I know I want this job, so it's controlling me to make sure I'm here at this 8 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But it's like,
The money told you to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and you don't want to.
Exactly.
The money controls everything.
It does. And it's like, it also is like that breaker. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I feel like I'm so controlled and I'm so consumed with money that I lost that. And to be honest, I feel like it's so crazy because, of course, I know you outside this podcast. So it's like, I think I've watched how you looked at money and how it changed. Mm-hmm. Like when I first met you, you were a hot mess. Like anybody that know Jean Green before 15, 14, before baby Jean, you was a mess when it came to money.
Yeah. I was very, how do I say it? I wasn't educated on money. Mm-hmm. I'm just living. You don't understand it, especially when it's coming. It's just like whatever.
Yeah.
And then you get to a point where it'd be like, all that shit I did was so stupid.
So stupid.
So stupid. Like,
and not worth it.
Not worth it for a memory, right?
Yeah.
How much we gonna spend on memories about nothing? About people you don't even talk to no more.
Yeah. Like who not even there. Like you can show them a picture and be like, oh, I forgot who that was.
I forgot you was even there. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Right.
I don't know.
And that's how, and I feel like
I do a lot of studying on money though.
Really? Yeah. Okay. And what have you, like, do you feel, I'm not sure if you looked at it from this perspective, but how do you feel like your ego or like how you want to be portrayed, how does that change your view on money?
I don't get it. What you mean?
Like, for example, like, do you think your ego and who you wanted to be perceived to be played a part in how you looked at money?
No, I don't really care how I'm perceived to be outside of my son's eyes. Mm-hmm. So like, I don't care what nobody think. I just do stuff because I want to do it.
Got you. So it's like, it's not an outside thing. It's more so like, this is genuinely who you are.
Yeah. So like, you knew me like in like the college days and shit.
Yeah.
I just wanted to have fun. I didn't want to be like, oh, I want to be cool. So like, let me do this. Like everything I do, it be like my thing. Like,
right.
I do shit that I want to do, or I talk to people that I want to talk to. I just like, it just be like my thing.
Yeah. And I feel like that's where like the authenticity comes in at.
Yeah.
So when you say you study money, like, what have you been studying, or what are some of the things you feel like you want to share, or things, or you feel like these are the kind of the points you've been like honing in on lately?
Financing. Financing is crazy. Like actually getting approved for stuff and not having to use your money. Because I used to think like, man, I can't get this because I don't got the money. So let me get the money and then go get it. Now it's like, let me put my social security number in here and show them that I pay, and you get the money like, they like,
yeah.
So it's like, I'm trying to get this machine, right? It's like 250 racks. So I'm like, all right, I got to come up on this money.
Right.
I was just bored one day watching YouTube videos like finance. Started looking into it. I seen something on TikTok too. It was a company that was like doing loans with no docs. So I just typed my information in. They was like, you pre-approved for $80,000. Let me go on another website. And then like just understanding it and like understanding good terms, understanding penalties, understanding once you get that money, once you take on that debt, are you going to make money with it, right? So I'm like, I'm in the process of now, I already got approved for the loan, for the machine, but now I can't fit it in my building.
Oh, wow.
So now it's like, where am I going to put this 14-foot machine at? I need a garage door. So now it's like, I understand how to get the money. Now it's like, got to relocate. You got to do all this. You got to do all this shit. And I think all entrepreneurs should focus more on financing. Like how to get approved, how to build credit profiles, how to like get what you want without thinking like, oh, I got to work overtime for the rest of the summer to afford whatever you want. Like it could be like, I don't know, what people be buying.
Right. What do people buy? Like well, you know, not everything is like a paying for it now.
Let's say you need a laptop, right?
Yeah, a laptop.
You want a MacBook. I think they like 3 racks.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
If your credit decent, you don't gotta save up that $3,000 because you know that computer gonna make you money. You just need to get going. You need the computer to make the money. Go to Apple. If you got decent credit, apply for Apple card, Apple credit card.
But that's the thing you said, the credit part.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the part where we kind of get a little confused. Like, even at school, right? Like, you say you go to college, we already know you get a refund check, right? But you know, half of that money is going to be loans that you have to pay back. But you're not thinking about that on that end, right? You think about that $8,000 that's going to come in September. And I feel like a lot of us got lost in that segment of like how to maintain the money. We focused on so much on getting the money. Yeah.
You gotta research stuff that you're going to do a lot of. So I know I'm going to do a lot of monetary transactions in my life. So I need to understand it. Like, the faster I understand it, the better my son gonna be. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta just learn fast. You gotta learn that shit fast.
And what do you think, like, I feel like in terms of looking at it from like a business, because you haven't ever had a 9-to-5, right?
Not really. Have you? Okay. I had a job in it's so crazy. Like, I had a job in high school at Athlete's Foot. I think I was there for like 6 months and then they shut down. But like, when I first started my company, people used to be like, your customer service sucks. I used to tell them, like, I ain't never had no job. I don't know what you talk about. My whole solution was like, all right, I'll give your money back. Like, and then once you get older and you grow, I had to research customer service. I literally had to talk to people like, hey, how am I supposed to handle this situation? Because I literally didn't know. Like, literally didn't know. And then now I figured it out and now we're good at it.
And I think one of the things I feel like you've noticed, like, I'm seeing a pattern even when you talk, it's like, if you see that there's a problem, you're willing to try to find a solution.
Always.
And I feel like that's what takes I don't know, kind of breaks it up into like the haves and the have-nots, right? Are you willing to do what it takes to get to where you need to be?
That's a fact.
And where do you, like, I feel like even when thinking about a business from like a business sense, for my people on my podcast that are listening, like, what do you think the hardest thing about trying to get money is? Well, for a business.
Doing it.
Okay.
So everybody got ideas, but so I'm about to try and do like some demolition shit, right? So
and when you say demolition, what's that?
Like trucking, tearing down houses, taking them away, that type of shit. Okay. And I'm doing all this research and I'm meeting people, I'm networking, we like putting a play together. But none of that shit I did matters until I actually do it. Like, I fuck up a lot of shit because I like to learn too much. And learning is doing. So it's no better learning than actually doing it. It's like, if I watch basketball all day, if I don't go out there and shoot, I'm not going to be good. I can watch this shit all day. I need to dribble. I need to go through my legs. I need to shoot a 3. Until you actually do what you want to do, you can't get better at it.
And that made me think of, like, we are in the era of the ebook era is what I call it, right? We'll buy every ebook that come out, every marketing tip, every this, every that. All you're doing is hoarding it. You're not using none of the information. Like, it's going to waste.
Yeah, I think we spend a lot of time learning. We should probably spend more time executing, even though it's expensive executing without knowing. But I think the what you gain from actually doing what you're trying to learn, it's only so much a book can tell you.
Yeah, facts.
It's only so much TikTok can tell you. Yeah. You have to actually do it.
Do it.
Like this. Like, even like when I first met you, like I remember we was both talking about the podcast stuff together. And like, you actually executed it and you're doing good. You got notes, you got a studio, like everything's beautiful. You understand the cameras, you have your mic, you got a team, you know what I'm saying? Like, none of this would have been possible with you just thinking about it. You had to get up, you had to find a location, you had to practice. I'm pretty sure you spent some time making notes and you study this stuff. You look at other podcasts, but you can't really grow until you actually do it. And I do want to tell you, I'm proud of you for that.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. No, and it does mean a lot to me because I feel like people don't really quite see that part. You know, like they just see like it's something that's out there. We see the product, but we don't see the journey to creating the product. And I feel like this is so. Like when I first met you, I had my first podcast, and I was with a group of 4 people. So this is my second podcast. So it's like just thinking about like even then it was just an idea, and the idea became an execution. And I feel like when we come to like business and thinking about money moves and thinking about what we want to do, and I think that it's just not even just for the realm of people in the entrepreneur world, but people who are in the world of trying to get something done, period. You must get out there. I always tell people all the time, the reason how I became a teacher and knowing I want to become like an educational consultant or go to the next level when it comes to like what I would do in my career, I I had to do it. And it started in the 11th grade, like just doing different programs. So I feel like for people who are in the business world, or people that are striving to get into it, or just want a different career, you have to get your feet wet. And not all the time do it cost. It just take opportunity. Like, for example, with me, right now I'm working with Detroit Mercy Law. And usually I do summer school, right? Summer school pays more, but Detroit Mercy Law was a pay cut for me. It's a longer term, so it kind of end up evening out. But it's not like my instant money. I get more so with the summer school. But it's like, it's a great resume builder. Like, when it comes to things I can do, my experiences, basically, I'm a program lead. So I've worked on their press releases I'm doing a program for their community event that they're going to have. And I'm bridging the gap between the high school and the law school. So it's like, we're doing that. Yeah, I'm taking a pay cut, right? So it's like, yeah, I am having to take a little cut to do it. But it's like, in the end, you know what I'm saying? It's going to get me to where I want to be, and it's going to make me more that I would like to do. And I feel like sometimes we can get so caught up in that instantaneousness that we could kind of lose that. And that's one thing I really appreciate about you, even just from knowing you and just watching the business, and even you, doing the second business. It's like, you understand the value of the long term. Yeah. And I feel like in our world, especially now with social media and everything is the click of a button, we don't understand the journey and we don't appreciate it.
Yeah, that's a fact. Everything that I do, I try to make sure it's long term. I don't like to do. Back in the day, I used to like quick licks, like come on. Now it's like I want to slow grind it out. I want to figure it out, because in 10 years from now, I want to have it consistent. Like, I want to keep it going. And then I want to pass it down to my son. So now it's just even more important. Like, all right, I got to figure this out, so he don't got to figure it out. Right. So like, everything I do now is like, I don't want him figuring that out. Like, why are we figuring out anything? And I figured it out already. Yeah. Like, now you can do whatever you want to do. And most, like, when I went to school and shit, I went to school just to be like a backup plan. Okay. Like, when I do my son shit, it's gonna be like, this your backup plan. Gotcha. Do what you want to do. Like, Daddy built this for us, but you can still go do what you want to do. But we rely on the work, the hard work and years that we put in on stuff that we know, as the backup plan, so he can do whatever he want to do.
And that's beautiful. So how do you feel like, in terms of generational wealth, or when do you think you want to retire? Or like, I know you said like for his backup plan, what are you doing to ensure like that generational wealth? I feel like that's another like clickbait word that I'm starting to hear more about.
What am I doing? Shit, I'm grinding every day. Like, I'm trying to work so he has to work. I don't want my son to be like no spoiled brat. Like, I want to give him the world. Like, don't get me wrong, but I want to show him like, yo, bro, this how we do this. Like, when my son turns 7, I want him working at the store.
Oh, that's nice. Okay.
Like, he not gonna be getting no allowance. It's gonna be like,
right, you gotta, and I think that's a good point. Okay, so being someone who, how would you identify yourself, like, in terms of money? Do you feel like you are the middle class, you're the upper middle class? It doesn't matter how you define it.
Man, I was just with some niggas last night, and I am poor.
So it depends on who asking.
It depends on who you with. I'm talking about some heavy hitters, like, and it just be funny because you be like, I'm starting to get in different rooms now. Like, I'm starting to get in like every $1 million rooms. Everybody making millions,
right? Facts.
And like, people are starting to gravitate towards me based on the things that I accomplished this far. Like, oh, you did that? Like, people be so surprised when they be like, Fresh Baked Prince, your company by yourself, nobody else, no partner. I'll be like, yeah. They be like, damn, that's a hard ass thing, because everything is custom. I'm like, yeah, my job is hard as fuck. Everything is custom. But I would classify myself as poor. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like poor depending on like, because you know where you want to be at, you know what I'm saying? And it's like compared to the place where you could probably see yourself, you would consider yourself poor to get there. And the reason why it's like, so say, because I feel like in Black families, and to be honest, I really don't know too many like Black legal successful people.
I mean a ton of them.
Oh, that's amazing.
And the thing about them is they want to help, they just don't know how to get to us. So like, they want to help, but they don't have enough time to be like encouraging niggas. Like, they want to weed out the people who not ready. So like, the people I'm meeting now, it's like you got to have prerequisites to even get game.
I like that.
So like, even with this trucking shit, it's like, all right, we got to go get a truck. It's $500,000. if I didn't have credit or ways to pay for that truck to even get approved or just even have that real conversation, it's a waste of their time because they can only show you, but you have to be able to be, I don't know, I don't want to say it's the wrong thing, but you got to be like a prerequisite. Like,
yeah, like you got to show them that honesty is worth their time.
At your job, right? It's just certain shit you had to accomplish to even get that position.
Right, because you had to have a you had to have a certificate, you had to have experience. So that was my two things.
A degree. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a high school diploma, you know, a middle school graduation. Like you had to graduate middle school. Right. It's just so much stuff that you have to do to get in certain rooms. And what I want to do is kind of open that up because it's a lot of people who meet those criteria who just don't have the right people around them.
So would you be interested, and this is like random, but would you be interested in maybe like creating like a platform? Because I know I was looking at your caption the other day and it was like, I make businesses make money, or I help businesses make money. Do you feel like you could see yourself like creating a platform or like a way for other business where you could kind of be that vetting process per se?
No, I'm definitely not interested in that.
Okay.
I think I'm more interested in just like connecting people, but I don't want to be a part of the process. Because I got my own stuff going on, right? Got you. I don't want to hold nobody's hand. Like I want to be like, yo, you got potential. I know somebody off of my word, they gonna fuck with you. Be on point. You know what I'm saying? Got you.
So more so like you can connect the dots. I'm not trying to walk the line with you.
I'm not. I don't want to be on no three-way conference calls with you and somebody I connected you with.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, build a relationship. You're gonna be good off my word. Just like do what you're supposed to do.
And what do you think like has got you in those rooms? What has been like the biggest thing that has helped you get in those rooms?
Consistency and my name good.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
The name being good, right? You're not messing people over. Yeah. You're not trying to get over on people. And you have more integrity and character over the money. Yeah. And I feel like it's the other way around with a lot of people.
I wouldn't say that.
I definitely think so.
A lot of people. I feel like.
I do.
I feel like people are just people. But like I said, like my resume is pretty good. Like on any side of any type of money I ever got. I think you should always keep a good name. You should not be known for the nigga that run off.
Right.
You can't make money like that. You don't want to be known as the fighter. The fighter, right. You don't get invited to those rooms. You want to be known as, what would I say? Responsible, dependable. I don't know if that's the same. Dependable, reliable.
No, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, you want to start building. You want people to think good things about you when they say your name. Like when I say your name, even like that idea I came up with you and RCL.
Yeah,
I'm like, yo, I need some good people to help me figure this out. Right. You want to be the type of person when people be like, oh, it's time to get some money. Let me call Kenya.
Right.
Because I know she gonna do her thing.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know nothing about it. Like when I was kicking it to you about my idea, you ain't know nothing about it.
Right. Nothing.
We start figuring it out. You know what I'm saying?
Like immediately.
Me, you, and RC was like, oh, this is a good idea. Like we didn't ever see it through, but we started. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We looked into it. It was like, oh, this is a good idea. Then Toro it's not going up no more. Toro's going down. Yeah. So the idea didn't make sense, but it made sense at the time.
Right. And it was like, I think you having people around that can think and can grow and can create, that's a big thing.
So me and my friends, we was talking about having the right people around you is probably just as important.
I so agree.
So like if you trying to be the next billionaire or the next millionaire, you can't just stay in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Right. You gotta like network. You gotta get out your shell. You can't. Man, I come across so much stuff just by being around the right places. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's so many black men that want to help black men. It's like insane. It's like they really want to help, but we just gotta like show them like. I ain't no knucklehead. Like, first of all, we already starting off bad because we from Detroit, right? Like, oh, he got a gun. He not like he a gangbanger. Like, no, bro. Like, it's really black man that's really taking care of business on a high level that just need the right mentorship. And I think you should do that.
Like. Me?
Yeah, you should.
I think you should, Jean. Actually,
I think you should find the people, and I'll see what I can do to help.
Yeah. I think I should find the people. I'll create the platform, everything, and you just bring the it's.
Yeah, but you gotta like weed people out though.
Right, and I think I'll be really good at that. Because to me, I feel like I think that's a problem too. I think, and like I said before, when I said like the money over integrity and character, we see too much of what money can do per se, right? Yeah. But it's not done in a way where it's a good representation, right? So if all I see is drugs, dope, and scams as the way the money is coming, that's what I'm going to naturally gravitate to. And I feel like, just like you said, there are lots of people that are legal, that are successful. Where are they? And I mean, of course, I know where they are, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I'm in a professional world. I'm not in that world. But it's just like so many people just don't know that they exist. And when I think about money and think about the different moves people make, it's like we need more of that representation, and we need more conversations of people. Like, people look at people as businesses, but like, you a human first and then your business, you know? And I feel like that'll be really good, like really, if you like tap into. Like, I feel like I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I'm gonna figure out something. But
so let's start right now.
Okay, right. So right, but then I think about it too. Now that you just said it, who could I really call that I would even feel comfortable, or even feel like they got the it to do it? You know what I'm saying?
Let's start. What's the, like, you know this job shit before, because we talk about working and shit. What are the prereqs to get in this program?
That's good. I would say,
so like, how you weed people out is like, I don't want to say like weed people out to like baller blocking or nothing. It's just like, yo, for one, I would say like, you gotta have a car.
Absolutely.
You gotta have a vehicle.
Yes.
Like, for one, as a young dog trying to get some game, you're going to have to shoot some moves. You're going to have to show like, yo, I don't know nothing, but I'm willing to do anything to like...
to get there.
Yeah, now it's like, oh, young dog, you trying to whoop, like, pull up. And you're like, oh, my mama ain't trying to let me get the whip.
Yeah.
And I was just slowing up the process, because now I was like, man, I'm fucking with young dog, but I gotta pick him up. I gotta drop him off. He didn't left his keys at home. I had to take him to his grandma's house. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
We gotta establish like what are the prereqs to like even just like. So let's start. And I say a vehicle.
I say a vehicle. And to me, I say like, I want to see your portfolio, like your history. You know what I'm saying? When I say history, I mean like, what have you done prior to this?
Well, basically what we trying to do is get them to the next level. So I think that is a good idea.
The history.
I don't think the portfolio really matters for niggas on the come up.
I do, and I'm gonna tell you why. So this is what I'm thinking of when I say portfolio. For example, right? Say if you met me at 18, right? Yeah. I didn't been to high school, right? Yeah. At some point in time, I don't care. Once you get to the point where you can be grown, you can start having sex. What have you done? What accomplishment? It's a problem if you ain't done nothing you're proud of between 13 and 18.
But what we trying to do is help them. So we can't say like, how we gonna help you when you ain't did nothing? Like, we know you ain't did nothing. That's why you need help.
No, you should have done. Think about it, Jean. Nothing. You ain't got your first job. You don't have a goal or a plan of which, like, nothing means I have nothing to work with. You're like a blank slate.
I feel like I'm talking to like the white people who be trying to bridge the gap with the black people.
Really? Okay.
You understand the average black man ain't had no job in this community. They hustling.
Okay.
They have no job experience. I didn't have job experience. You know what I'm saying? So I would have flunked the program because I didn't have job experience.
Jen, so you didn't have a job?
I want to reach... No.
Okay.
Well, in high school, I told you I worked at the athletic.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, keep going.
But I really built the company off of no work experience. I just got an attendance policy.
Oh, wow. Okay. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I didn't know like that was a code of conduct. Like, I was just starting to get that type of stuff. I never knew.
Gotcha.
I didn't understand it. I never went to a job and had a book of like the rules and stuff. I just thought niggas knew the rules. Right. It's just regular stuff. Like
it's common sense.
Yeah, come to work on time. Why do attendance policy? Like, why do I have to come up with an attendance policy? Come to work. Like, don't do no whole shit. Don't say 30 minutes before you're supposed to be here, you can't come. Nigga, you knew 2 hours ago there was a possibility you couldn't come.
Right, true.
You should have been like, hey, yo, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm gonna let you know as soon as possible.
So maybe even like life skills.
I don't know. That's why we gotta come out with it. Just gotta be coachable too. You got to be able to take information and like, if I take you to the water, like, bro, I'm not fixing your plate. I'm not getting you no cut, nigga. We here, do your thing.
Right,
you know
right,
what I'm saying? It's for you. Like, I don't know.
But I get what you're coming from. And I feel like even when you say it made me really think about like, dang, like that kind of is like that, just that small piece. You know what I'm saying? We think it's big, but it's like for some people that's they hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? Will take them from always being at a level 1 to like that level 10. And just having someone to push you or just being in the right rooms, like you said.
Man,
I think I can agree on that.
The right people can turn you the fuck up overnight.
You ain't lying.
The right people can turn you the fuck up overnight. Just based off of experience, man. Like, I was talking to some cats, they like, man, you not minority certified? I'm like, no, what's that? They're like, nigga, the government give you money to do, like, it's contracts. You don't do no contracts for the government. No, like, I don't know how to contact the government. They looking at me like I'm slow. I'm like, bro, I understand retail. Like, I kill the retail game, but they like, oh, bro, once you get this government shit, like, it's a whole nother money. Like, that shit you doing, like, you probably ain't gonna even want to do that shit because these niggas hitting niggas with $100,000 orders that they need monthly. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you focus on this shit when you could really just talk to this one person.
Right.
And you're gonna be turned the fuck up. You know what I'm saying?
Levels.
So, I'm just learning more and more and more and more. Because
I love this.
We only know what we know.
And we only know what we consume.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's the big part. Now I'm really loving it because this is like, I wanted to do something different in this podcast. Like, I want to do something like out of my norm. Like, and I feel like this is a really important conversation. Like, this is a conversation of the real life about getting, you know, kind of going past your comfort zone and getting into that next part.
You got to get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I used to be uncomfortable talking to people who had more than me. It's weird.
Yeah, because I always was like that. Yeah. I think I'm still am a little bit.
Then once you realize, like, the people who got more than you want to help you more.
That's a good way to look at it. I haven't looked at it like that.
All the people I know with the bread, they be like, what you want to do?
Right.
What's up, nigga? I'll teach you everything. You can use all my context. Just tell me what you want to do. And then I just want to be like, I want to pass that down. But I don't want to be in the middle of it.
Right, you don't want to be the middle person, but you want to be the person. But
I don't even got to be the person. I don't even got to meet nobody.
Maybe the resource person.
I just want to help the way I can help because I got a lot of stuff going on.
Okay.
So if you came across somebody like, we building this thing, right? Well, you building this thing.
Okay.
I mean,
right.
And you like, yo, Gene, I got somebody like, you know, he got the car. We can't.
Right.
He got the pre.
Gotta had a car.
He never had a job before. Like, what do he want to do? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and then from there, you're like, oh, he want to be an electrician. I said, I got this cold ass black electrician that I deal with. Let me call him and see if he can help. Do he got the time to? Because everything's time now.
Everything is time. Yeah, it's not even just the money; it's the time.
And the thing about it is, a phone call could just help a nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
It'd be like, look, bro,
I like this.
Go to this school right here. They got a 6-week program. You probably thought you had to do 6 months. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. You didn't even know. Like, you didn't even know this.
There's so many resources out here to help. I feel like the government is trying to help. They got programs, but we don't know how to get to that information.
That's true.
And I feel like you should figure out how to, like,
you know, I honestly think this is number 5,340 on the thing. Like, this is a big one. Like, I really like this idea because I'm even thinking about it. Even if it's like, we don't even got to be hella big, you know, like it can start small, like just a scholarship for us to do that. Say if it's even a young lady, she want to do this CNA program, you know what I'm saying? That's what, $900. And sometimes it's free really half the time. And it's like, just to find those people that are willing, right?
The thing about even like that, like you find a CNA program, like, hey, I'm trying to sponsor some kids. Can y'all help? I want to help some kids, you know what I'm saying? They'd be like, okay, we'll give you a 20% discount or something. Or it's just, you just got to ask, bro. Right. You really got to ask. And then you got to, like, you're going to get told no a lot. I'm super bad with rejection. I don't even like. Oh,
I hate it. I'm working through it so bad.
I don't even like the word no. I'd rather figure it out than ask a person because I think they going to say no.
Yeah, that's me too. It's like I plan for the no.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not good because it keep you in a box.
And your program, you should teach people how to take rejection well.
I think I should, and I think I should practice because I'm someone that really does have a hard time with internalizing things, like what people are going to say. Like, surprised you probably didn't even know I was so scared to ask you, knowing I know you don't care. But I'm like, I really want to ask Jean to be on a podcast, but Jean may be busy or something like that.
What? No, bro, just ask. Even like today, like I got surprised with the Drake concert today, and I'm like, my man's blew my phone up at 7:00 in the morning. Like he need a big ass rush order. I'm like, I gotta do this. He like, all right, I'm gonna just come on. What's this? Right. I'm like, no, bro, I gotta do it. Like, I got an extra 300. I'm like, oh, baby.
Right.
All right, bet. Come on, let's just do it.
Right.
And I did that, and then I do that. I'm like, all right, I'm about to get dressed. My girl, like, shit, I got us some tickets to the Drake concert.
Oh, that's lit.
I'm like, I got a podcast to go to.
Right.
She's like, why you ain't telling me? I said, because my phone didn't set the reminders for 2 hours before, so I forgot.
Right.
And she like, all right, well, fuck it. I'm going to find you something to wear. You go do that. We do that. Ooh. So it just be a lot going on.
Yeah, and they'd be like, so
I would do anything for you. You my dog.
Thank you. No, I really appreciate it. That's why I was so happy. I know it was last minute. I'm like, I'm happy I was able to get it through. It still happened. That's why I'm happy. So I am really, honestly, even from the episode, I feel like I've learned a lot. It made me think about something I need to be working on. I always leave for like a homework for people listening. So like, what would be if you had like 2 questions you would want to tell people, or 2 things you want them to think about right now based on business or money, what would you say?
Damn, I should have probably read that thing you said so I can reread
it. Or think about like this, like,
so 2 things that
or like a question you would have for them to think about, or
I would say like, how do I put this? Look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, like, am I doing everything it takes to get to where I want to be?
Love that.
And if you could look yourself in the mirror and say, yeah, I'm doing everything I can do, and it's just not working, you should probably do something else. But if you look yourself in the mirror and be like, I'm not even going hard enough. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to complain about shit, and I used to look myself in the mirror like, nigga, why you tripping? You not even going hard. You spent 6 hours a day on this. It's 24. Give it 10.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Give it more time. Go harder. But if you like, bro, I'm doing something, I'm going as hard as I can every day training, I'm just not good at it. Like, probably focus on something else.
Yeah, try something else. And I think that's the part people don't hear enough. So I want us to really do that. So for everybody who is listening, really think about, like, where do you want to go? Where do you see yourself at? And it's like after you really put in the real time, you dedicating it, you being focused. And if it's not going the way that you want it to do, then it may not be for you. Yeah, I really like that. Well, I want to say thank you so much for coming today. I am 2 for 2 now with the guest show. I'm trying to go 3 for 3. I feel like this was different. People who listen to my podcast, I'm like, you know what, this was a different role for King, but it worked. And this is hopefully be another visual. So this will be the second one. But I want to say thank you so much. And I appreciate you coming on. Thank you. Until next time, y'all, the things we do not want to talk about.